Hello.
All right.
I'm Megan.
I'm Matt.
And you are watching The Night Owl. It's Friday, March 19th, 2021. And welcome to The Night Owl. If you are new, welcome. I'm Megan and he's Matthew. We talk about music, art, and life every week on live Facebook. And I was actually mentioning that we wanted to do a regular recording for the Anchor podcast, which is just for our recording of our beautiful voices. But Friday we do the live videos every week because we want you to see our face.
I think we started this, maybe halfway second or third season, we decided to add the video.
So technically we've done videos, but only with guests.
No, but this is
live. Yeah,
this is a steady thing that I think we've been trying to bring for about a month or so now, and we enjoy it. It sounds like and looks like some of you enjoy it, and definitely when we post these, it's kind of fun, and we're going to continue to add to this. I've been out there seeing some things, and I think we could do some things with this Friday.
So when you see it, when you see it on your news feed, just be sure to share it and share it on your feed, share it on your friend's feed. Make sure everyone sees it and everyone, the best way to get business is to spread the word. If you already like us, if you're already a supporter, thank you. Welcome back. We are enjoying the fact that you guys have supported us. I've actually been learning through uploading on our Facebook page for the Night Owl Chicago that some of you listeners have actually listened to our second season. So not only are you watching the videos, but now you've been listening to us, before we started our third season. And this would be our 8th episode for our third season. So it's a little bit more slow going, but I'm kind of glad about that because I know in the last live video, I had mentioned that last year the quarantine was really hard for people. It's still very hard right now, despite the fact that we're going into spring, we're going into warmer weather. But there's been a lot of, natural disasters. There's been a lot more corrupted political climates, a lot going on. So we are posting less because of other things going on in our lives and just, Matthew's steady working. I'm trying to get back into working. But last year we posted every 4 days.
And we were very inspired, and not that we are not now, but I think, we're trying to get a better understanding. I think what we really want to do with this, again, it's always going to be, music, art, life, and about you. We're always going to want to bring, I think, kind of that positive element and those positive people to you and really shine a light on things that maybe you're not aware of, things that we're not aware of, and that. But I think as we kind of go along, we're going to continue to work at this, and I think kind of make it even.
I'm getting more comfortable doing these live videos now. I was a little nervous the first few times with what we were saying and how we were looking and how good the quality of the video was. So I think now using Zoom, it's really helped us to look clear, look fresher. I've been dressing up every time. I think every time I've worn makeup, maybe the first video I didn't wear any makeup. So I've been trying really hard to make it a special opportunity for me to be able to get dressed up and wear makeup. And Matthew's been dressing up a little bit too. So thank you, Matthew.
All right.
So, we're trying. We hope that you guys are doing well. And it is Friday. So let's cheers to our Friday. Let's put up our drink. If you guys are drinking, we are drinking I'm drinking it's a Mike Stout, milk stout nitro. It has a little shamrock, I think, because of the St. Patrick's Day last weekend. But it's really good. They've actually made several different types of different nitro flavors. Let's sip it. Okay, we wouldn't be Chicagoans if we didn't sip our beer. So they make all different types of nitro flavors. And Matthew had one that was like a Neapolitan, which you could taste the flavors of Neapolitan layered, which was really cool. I thought.
Yeah, I would say with some of these beers, the flavor game has definitely been completely enhanced. It's crazy what some of these craft beers kind of bring.
And the fact that it's that sound, that nitro sound.
That's like the unique sound, right? So it drops that in there, and it's cool. It's delicious. That can, and
Move this and moving y'all. We're moving you. Just sit tight. Hold on. All right, we're good. So I know I had a lot of more content the last few episodes. I brought more content to the episodes those times, and then Matthew kind of commented on them and we commented together. But I told Matthew, I said, this is your time. If you find a cool story or, something in the news that you want to talk about, go right ahead. I did go through our emails. I know I told you guys to write in. Yeah, I told you to write in, any kind of stories, any comments, questions, anything you guys want to share with us. We will not say your names. I looked through the emails pretty well, and I don't really I leave the names out, just for security and for you guys. And I want it to be more of a neutral platform too, because we are an inclusive podcast. So we accept any race, any gender.
Humans,
yeah. If you're a human, if you're a non-human, that's great too. As long as you can use a keyboard, that's great. So I did pick a email in the relationship kind of end of it. And I figured, since if you want to go ahead and start with that, we can start with that first. If you want to go onto our YouTube, it's the Night Owl Chicago on YouTube to watch the edited version of our last week's video. It was about some celebrities and how Hollywood is. But this is something we could start out with, something light, and it's a relationship topic. So Matthew used to go through Reddit all the time and read that kind of stuff, and that was something he was really interested in. And so I figured I could pull out emails that were relationship, themed, and maybe next week I can find some that are about pets again, because I like doing the pet questions when I ask people about, what they tips that they had about being a pet parent.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to do the animal
pets.
stuff.
I think we definitely adore pet parents, and those of you that take care of furry ones. So
non-furry ones. Yep. Lizards are all the rise on the rise right now.
I guess feathery or lizardy or
especially birds that can talk or. I would love to hear if you guys have any birds that can talk. I want to see some videos, because then we can share on our Zoom. We can share videos on there. So go ahead, Matthew. Did you have an email you wanted to share?
So we have just somebody kind of seeking just a little bit of guidance on that, on relationship here between two people. And
why do you like it so much?
It's just, I think, the confidence in the relationship, because I know, again, it's not perfect. It's something that, because I feel like I know, and not everything, but, it's hard work. It's like a garden, you got to grow it.
If the grass isn't greener, just make your own grass greener.
You just can't stand there and just assume that everything's going to work out in the end. And there's a lot that goes into it. And whether it's, again, kind of like a relationship like ours, or it's a friendship, or it's a
parent, yeah,
family. And again, when we say,
or even work.
And remember, when we say family isn't always blood. Family is family.
Family is whoever you assume that is your family.
So I mean, it gets complicated. There's a lot that goes into it. I just think, again, the more we know, the better those relationships are, or at least the better.
You probably feel connected to them too.
Come up. So this person says, salutations here. Hello, Megan and Matt. Hello. I love your podcast. It helps me through the day when I'm working from home. Awesome.
Oh, thank God. Because I like podcasts when I'm working from home.
I do the same thing. So my boyfriend and I have been together for about a year and a half now. I'm 20 and he's 21. So we're talking,
another millennial couple.
Right there. I think
couples.
we have a really great relationship outside of our disconnect with outlooks on life. Person says that they've been through trauma in their life, and they have a very difficult time kind of trusting people and the genuineness of others. And then they kind of go on to mention that, they had this communication with their boyfriend about this. And they don't really feel like maybe this person is completely acknowledging or listening to them kind of when they're going on one of these rants. And they go on to say, I've definitely had it rough, but he also says that the world isn't as fake as I think it is, and I need to be more open-minded. Whatever that may necessarily mean. Again, I'm always, I'm always the more guarded person, and you're the more kind of open and willing to let people.
I trust a lot.
More trusting people, and can quickly see
I don't
the
have
good
a guard
side.
up as much.
I don't think there's anything really wrong with necessarily, either way, as long as, again, you're not causing physical harm to people.
You have to always listen to your gut. I mean, sometimes your brain can fool you. So
I mean, he always gets on me about trying to be more open-minded with people. But anytime this person says, and they feel like, again, they kind of get pooped on and stomped on again. And, it makes it hard, right? I feel like kind of...
when you've been burned?
Burned.
I mean, I've been burned. You've seen it.
Burned.
You've been witness to that. Yeah, what do I still do?
And you're still the same. I mean, I am not.
It's only the people that once they get to know you, and that's when I have a little bit more of an expectation, not something that is unreasonable, but I don't feel like you should put expectations on a stranger. But I get when she's thinking that, like, her boyfriend's saying that she should be more, because he maybe he wants that for her. Maybe he wants her to try it.
And I'm sure
and
that
say, like, hey, why don't you try doing this? The world could be different for you. What
should be part of that conversation is what is the reasoning behind it. Is because you want that best for me, or is it because you think that I need to get out, or and I think part of this kind of goes into, some people are, you kind of hear those terms, introverted and extroverted. Some people kind of slant more one way than the other. Some people are completely
But you can have trauma and still be extrovert, like
absolutely.
You can have no trauma and be really reserved.
And
trauma is like,
trusting
sometimes
people,
it's a factor, sometimes it's not.
And hopefully there, I mean, that's why you see those commercials, right, for therapy, right? I think so many people, I think all of us, again, it's not just when things happen. I think all of us probably should have somebody in our life that's kind of a neutral party that we can kind of talk to and bounce things off. And maybe that would help here as well, especially if we have really been through some traumatic things in our life. Because again, we're not professionals here, but again, we appreciate. So
but it's a big factor.
They go on to say again that they do have a hard time reaching out, and that their significant here does at least understand that fact, but they do wish they would have more friends in their life. Sound familiar? Maybe. You never really have pushed me with.
I mean, I've never pushed you to get more friends, but like I've always made it so my friends, you were included in my circle of friends. And I have a handful of friends that like consider you as their family. Like I can count on my hand how many people that love me, that love you, and not because you're with me, but they actually like you.
Yeah, because I have also put that effort in to make that connection. Again, I am very reserved and guarded with who I really want to, I mean, again, me being a little bit older, I've had a little bit of a different life before I came to Chicago. And at one point in time, I lived in a place where just being out and knowing people. Where I knew many people. Many people. So, I mean, it just, again, it just depends on, do you want friends in your life? If that's what it is, then that's what you should probably try to seek out is, and I always start with something that's common ground, something that you enjoy, reach out to kind of similar people that enjoy similar things.
And for us, that's this, but they're young. Like, I mean, where are these all you young people emailing us? Because, like, I mean, I've been noticing on our podcast, we've had more listeners that were 18 and up.
And actually see people other than just through, gaming, which I know nothing wrong with that. I love gaming, but when people want to really make that physical connection at the end, we're still humans. We still need that.
Humans.
So it does feel like this person going to say, I feel like my boyfriend's optimism is kind of toxic and is asking me to simply get over everything I've been through, even though he never used those words and does acknowledge why I'm pessimistic than him. I think some of the biggest mistakes that we make in a relationship is that we start to put those words or those ideas or again, we start to project on our partner. And when it may be completely absolutely wrong. So don't do that. Have that conversation, have that real conversation, I would say, about this with this person and say, hey, does it really upset you that I do not have a lot of friends?
I mean, let's just say this. The guy I was dating before you did not want to leave. Like, he almost never left his place only to see his family. And I thought it was really selfish because I would be putting so much of my energy and time into seeing his family and knowing how important they were, even when they had their own drama, but he would never really go with me to see mine. And that's the difference between him and you, is that you make me seeing my family a priority, but also because you actually want to genuinely care about my family. It's not just because you have to go or you want me to be close to them. So that's why, that's what I look for in a partner, is that, hey, we're going to family events together, and it's not because you have to go, it's because you genuinely want the best for my family and you want to see them as individuals, right? And they're all part of who I am, right? You can't love someone and be like, hey, I don't want to see your family. Like, they're kind of the people that shaped you in a way. So like, it's kind of disrespectful.
They are,
right?
But you can't necessarily, the person you're with pick the family that they're from, and not everybody necessarily comes from family that you want to necessarily associate with.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, and also I was around that same. But that's the thing, is I was around the same age as these people. I was younger.
The person finishes, I feel very comfortable around him otherwise, which is rare for me with people. What do you all think could do? Is he giving me toxic positivity, or should I change my mindset?
Ooh, toxic positivity. That's a heavy phrase. That's a heavy phrase. I haven't heard that in a few months. Because toxic positivity is like those people that like want you to be in a cult. Like, they're just like, everything's great, and you should really be smiling. You should be so blessed every day. And it's like they almost have no bad days, or no like days where they just want to like throw a shoe against the wall, or they feel upset. Like, or toxic positivity where it's like they gaslight you, or they blame you for having a bad attitude, not feeling
that's
good.
kind of what this person is calling
and
out.
saying, why can't you be this way? You have to be this way. There's something wrong with you if you're not like this. So it's like a guilt thing. I don't see him doing that. I don't feel like that's something he's doing. But like I said, we don't know much about the relationship that well. I mean, if they're dating for a couple of years, they were teenagers. So I think maybe he's always been that way. Maybe what I would say is, if you wrote this in, if you're watching, just see it. Maybe you can do a follow-up email. Is he like this with other people, or just like this with you? Does he have an open mind, and is he usually like this with his friends and his family? Or is he just doing this with you? Because maybe he wants to see a change in the relationship if you just try something different, if you have a different mindset about the world and about life. Maybe he wants a little change. Maybe he wants to see you grow, and that's okay, right?
And maybe especially at that age, or to be honest, really at any age, unless we've had help being able to communicate, maybe that's exactly it. But it's kind of coming out like this.
Do you think it's the opposite?
And it's kind of coming out in this kind of toxic manner.
You reserved people. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's something to come out with, because I would say if it is that kind of toxic positivity, which
it's like that all the time,
then I would say, those are red flags.
Yeah, and maybe you didn't notice it.
If it's just a miscommunication or a failure to be able to get across, what we're trying to communicate, and it is kind of coming across with this attitude, then I would say there's something there to work for, especially if you again have this trust with somebody, and again, that's overall difficulty. So
so I would maybe just sit down and like see. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm wearing a dress, so you guys can see. It's my favorite spring dress.
Wear a GD mask is have a conversation.
Have a conversation. We still are dealing with this quarantine right now. If you guys, I'm assuming you're not living together. You didn't mention that if you're living together, but I would just say, talk to them and observe, and just say, hey, like, are you like, if he's like this with everybody, then that's just who he is. He's bubbly, he's, optimistic. He just wants a good time. But if he's like this with just you, maybe it's a good and a bad thing. Maybe, like I said, he wants to see you grow, and maybe try something new.
Come out of your shell.
And maybe he wants that for you, and he wants to see you it'll open doors for you if you just let go a little bit.
So I thought, in that same vein, and since that was a question posed by somebody young, I thought, again, it always seems like, even, it doesn't matter what age it is, right? It's always the previous generation, or even the generation before that, that's always kind of crapping on the current generation. And it doesn't seem like this is any different, as far as what they would say, quote unquote, boomers and other people.
Boomers. Can we still say that now?
Yeah, can we say that? I don't know.
Can we still say it?
So this is somebody here who is a bit, I would say, in that age range. And this went back. This post kind of made me just think about, communication, right, and language, right, and not to be put everything in a box. So this was posted going back to 2015 from we'll just say, an older adult. And it says, "Dear every cashier in America, the proper response to thank you is you're welcome, not no problem. And you're supposed to thank me." Now, maybe I kind of read it with an attitude, because when I kind of read it, I just, Then somebody underneath posts, "Millennials are so entitled," right? They don't want to hear the no problem. People are, you're, a certain age was taught, "Oh, thank you, welcome, no thank you," those kind of things. You're taught kind of these manners, and you're taught that all these things are rigid. Well, I mean, I don't know, certain rules are kind of have their place, or they don't have their place, I would say, anymore. So then somebody kind of chimes in, and I don't exactly know who this person was, but I would say they're a bit younger, but probably a little bit more knowledgeable in language, and I would say in language as a whole. So I'm just going to I'm going to read you what this person stated. So I did not come up with this. This is what this person stated in response to the somebody saying no problem. It says, "Actually, the you're welcome, no problem issue is simply a linguistics misunderstanding. Older people tend to say you're welcome. Younger people tend to say no problem. This is because for older people, the act of helping or assisting someone is seen as a task that is not expected of them, but is them doing extra. So it's saying, I accept your thanks because I know I deserve it. No problem, however, is used because younger people feel not only that helping or assisting someone is given and expected, but also that it should be stressed that your need for help was no burden to them, even if it was," right? When we say no problem.
Yeah, I say no problem all the time. Or no worry.
We have that discussion, right? We say it all the time. And basically this person sums it up. So basically, older people think help is a gift you give. Younger people think help is an expectation required of them. We kind of have that feeling we're all in this together. We're not really better than anybody else. We're all humans. And then some people do kind of go around living this life like,
I just don't get why it would seem like a millennial thing. Like you guys, people have to stop throwing that around. They have to stop using that. It's like when people throw up the race card, like when there's no race issue or like no like feminine issue or anything. Like when there's no issue, don't make it an issue. That's the thing. It's like you're using something that's so strong in nature. I mean, the millennial thing is not strong in nature because it's whatever. Like people were mad because there was a whole boomer thing, the okay boomer. I never said it. I think people are people. Age should not be a definition or a measurement of your maturity and your experience in life. You can be 24, you can be 84.
It is a issue, and I would say it's one that's plagued us for a long time, right? Where you get older and you start to say they're ruining it, right? That next gen, look at what
I never say that. I would never say that about the generation.
Well, you don't
after or before after me, or like.
But that's what gets
before me, like
said.
It's if they truly messed up something, then yeah, they messed up. But I can't say that's a whole generation of people.
That's what's very unique right now, right? About the current generation and the younger generation. They're very woke and they realize,
yeah,
wait
of course,
a minute.
Of course.
You're waving that finger at me and I'm going,
and I wouldn't say
the world's a dumpster fire right now.
And that's not entitlement, that's awareness. You're aware, because by now it's been going on for so long with the politics and the, shitting on the earth, but like it's happened for so long that of course they're gonna say, hey, this has to stop, right? So it takes the next generation to kind of try and fix what the other people have done and messed up, but you can't say a whole generation screwed up everything. There's people that are older than me that are activists.
No,
I mean, that wanted to see the world. They're trailblazers.
Things like that too. I remember when, and not in my time, and
I mean, look at all the activists and trailblazers before us. So sometimes it's not the other generation screwed up.
It's just really kind of, I think, how
we're all people.
We're taught, or at least how socially it feels like
it's
we're
easier
taught
to go
change,
that way,
right? Instead of being taught to embrace it,
we're taught to point fingers,
to go after it.
Yeah.
It's feared and you don't want change because you always want it to be the same.
Yeah, and who wants that? That's boring.
That's boring.
But I do say no problem. I say no worries. I say peace. I say my pleasure. Like sometimes I say thank you when someone's giving me something. I say please and thank you. But if like someone's saying thank you to me, I say no problem. Great, no problem, awesome. Like it's just lingo. It's like how people say certain words. It's different, when people just say fat, PHAT, like, oh, she's fat, like, oh, she's cool, like sometimes people say words that mean something and they may not know that you don't know what it means. And that's okay, but it's okay to ask them, like, hey, why do you say no problem?
It's not to be deemed as, this lazy or I don't care.
No, they're just using that word, that phrase, instead of saying you're welcome. They're saying no problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting,
it's a positive thing to say.
You've heard the phrase, I don't understand what the kids are saying today. Well, it's not because they're speaking a new language.
Just ask them.
It is because linguistically things do start to change.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we see that all the time, especially, since the inception of the internet. I mean, I mean, you have Urban Dictionary. You go on Urban Dictionary, there's a plethora of words that I've never heard of on that. Pop culture type references to gaming to political type reference. I mean, it's just,
and then there are words that come back that have a different definition. Like they used to have a different definition back in the 80s or 70s or whatever. And then they came back. Like, what? Didn't like a president used to use the word cool? I mean, cool wasn't like a new word, So like sometimes things come back and then they have a different meaning. But I wouldn't take too offense to it. Millennials, keep doing what you're doing. You're not entitled. You just know too much.
In the age of the internet, you just
know too much.
You don't want to. That's not a problem. I mean,
it's okay.
It offends apparently too many people.
That don't know anything.
Apparently, it offends people that you know that much.
Oh God, I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. All right. So, what is the next news that we have?
So I thought kind of even hitting a little bit more local, Michigan City, Indiana, which is like, I don't know, kind of an hour down the road going east.
By the way, we're in Chicago, so that's for anyone
we are
in
Chicago.
To us.
Has been in the news recently, at least the mayor of Michigan City, Mr. Dwayne Perry.
Dwayne.
Ooh,
hello, Dwayne.
He got caught with some racist comments about a black pastor there because of COVID shots, and now people are saying he needs to step down. And as recently as 2 days ago, actually, the city council did pass a resolution. They're going to pretty much force him to resign.
Well, yeah, what else are you going to do?
If you don't know, he is a white man. And
just so you know, anyone could be racist.
But again, it goes back to that, we should be holding our elected officials to a higher
Taylor, Marjorie Green.
To a higher standard, yes. So again, it kind of looks
her
like
out of Congress.
He is going to be ousted.
Well, good job. Good job, Michigan City.
So yeah, we like that. No place,
we don't want that here. We don't want that.
And
it's too close to home here. So
no place for racism.
No
place for hate.
We don't want that stuff. I definitely want to check in with you guys and let you know to email us. Our email is thenightowlchicago@gmail.com. thenightowlchicago@gmail. Our YouTube and our Facebook is The Night Owl Chicago. I made everything the same name on those 3 platforms so that it's easier to find us. And if you Google us, The Night Owl Chicago Music, Art, and Life, you can not only find our website on Anchor, but you can find there have been smaller little podcast links now, websites, platforms that have been playing our podcast. So sites I've never heard of before. So you can Google us. I'm going to put our links in the comments so you guys can click on them. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're getting to be anywhere where you get your podcast.
Yeah, and we definitely enjoy doing these live podcast episodes because it's something we can look forward to at the end of the week, and it's something Matt and I can do together. Because sometimes we're just like watching TV on different screens or playing video games or just chilling. So this is nice to be able to do this together. And also, it's Friday night. You know, if you guys are up, if you guys are on Facebook, I've noticed people are on Facebook more on Fridays and Saturdays than any other day of the week. So we always try to do it between 7:30 and 8 every Friday night.
Get your night owl on.
Yeah, so get your night owl on Friday nights. And then I think we're going to try and do just a regular recording every other week. So every week we'll have the live podcast. Every other week we'll also have live podcasts and just a regular audio recording of just other tidbits and stuff. So just look forward to us every week. We love you guys. We want you to stay happy.
Stay
happy. Stay safe. And wear a goddamn mask. I'm Megan.
I'm Matt.
And you are watching The Night Owl.
Ore.